Whoa, wait. So you're saying she ends up in a place that doesn't even exist?
Hey everyone! So back in January 9th, 2004, Hasumi, a Japanese girl, who started the thread that kicked off this wild story. Excuse me, maybe it's just my imagination, but could you listen to me for a moment? She posted this thread in Unusual and Supernatural Experiences section on the Ni Channel forum. It's pretty much Japan's Reddit. Then someone responded, "Sure, go ahead." Hasumi says she's commuting every day from Shin Hamamatsu Station on the same route, right? Where it takes 5 minutes to reach her destination. But on this day, she noticed they have been on the move for 20 minutes without stopping.
Probably wrong train. Anyone else with her?
There are 5 others, but they are all sleeping.
Sleeping? And what time was it?
11:30 p.m. Should she be worried?
Of course.
Then folks online started jumping in the thread. One of them suggested to talk to the train conductor. Go to the first car. She's like, okay. So the crowd is waiting. Eventually she updated. Nobody's responding to my knocking. Then she mentions the train's about to go through a tunnel, but it has never done that before.
Looks like she's on a wrong track. The easier thing is just to get off and take the opposite train, right?
At 12:23, she wrote, "It seems the train is stopping at a station." At 12:25, Hasumi wrote, "We're stopping at Kisaragi Station. Should I get off? I've never heard of this place." Someone urgently asked, "Please tell me you're not getting off?" Now Hasumi faces 2 options. First, get off and try to catch a train back. Second, stay on the train and see where it takes her. Despite advices against it, at 12:29 she posts, "I've gotten off. It's an unmanned station. Has anyone heard of it?" Online folks quickly searched for Kisaragi Station, but found nothing, leading to more confusion. Where the heck on earth is Kisaragi? It doesn't show up in any search. Someone says unmanned station turns off all lights at midnight, so it will be pitch black soon.
Oh my gosh. She should get back on that train.
Hasumi looked for a timetable to get back, but before she could find any information, the train left.
Oh no.
At 12:34, Hasumi wrote, "I stepped out to look for a taxi, but there's nothing here." At 12:44, it was suggested she look for an emergency phone booth. Hasumi feels lost. "There's nothing here. I don't know what to do." By 12:48, she called her parents to pick her up, but even they were puzzled. "Okay, honey, we're coming, but where is Kisaragi?" Hasumi posted, "They'll check on map and come for me, but I'm freaking out."
What about other passengers she mentioned?
They didn't get off. Remember, they were all sleeping? Hasumi is alone now. At 12:57, trying to lighten the mood, someone joked, it was written as Oni, but pronounced as Kisaragi. Oni is like ghost in Japanese, so it's literally ghost station.
My word, don't scare her more.
At 1:08, a nice folk reminded, "Why don't you walk back along the track?" Now Hasumi had to decide. First, stay at the station till morning. Second, walk back along the track in the dark.
I would stay at the station till the morning.
At 1:12, she's like, "I'm scared, but I'm walking back. I'm waiting for my parents' call. Oh, and the GPS says error. I just want to get home sooner." 1:18, she's updated. "There's nothing around except grass and mountain, but I'll follow the track. Thanks for your support. I don't mind if you think this is a joke, but if I need help again, can I ask you?" The crowd is very supportive. They like, "Joke or not, we got your back." At 1:19, a folk advised, "Watch out when you're passing the tunnel. It's dangerous inside." Another mentioned, "And don't let your phone battery die. It's a last lifeline."
Alright, battery.
At 1:30, the forum reminded her to call police. It's 110 in Japan. She tried, but the cops refused to help her and blamed her.
Why?
Because they can't find Kisaragi, so they think it's a prank call.
Oh my god.
At 1:57, she said she starts hearing drum beats, sounding like taigo. It's a kind of Japanese drum, played by a half-naked man in Saiten, festival for the gods. Sometimes it happens at night. So if you encounter it like this, you might get lost in another world, forgetting who you are, known as kamikakushi by Japanese. In English, it's called spirited away.
I thought it just happened in a movie. Is it for real?
Well, this happened a lot in Japanese legends. So at 2:03, some folks warn her not to look back or she'll get snatched away. At 2:09, but another wrote, "Calm down. Follow the drumming. There's gotta be someone there." Hasumi faces 2 options again. First, run away from the drum beats. Second, move towards the drum and find the man beating it. She chose to run, and the folk tells her, "No matter how scared you are, do not look back." But soon, 2:09, she heard someone yelling behind her, Hey, it's dangerous to walk on the track. She turned and saw an old man with only one leg, 10 meters away. Just as she thought there's at least a person to company, he disappeared, freaking her out.
Yo, what the fuck? Who the fuck was that?
Exhausted by 2:13, Hasumi could no longer run. But the drumming was getting closer. By 2:35, she managed to call home. Her father promised to involve the police, but the drumming continued to draw nearer. At 2:45, Hasumi updated everyone she arrives at the tunnel, and the name is Isanuki. All tunnels in Japan have a name. This helps in locating her. As she is about to enter the tunnel, the forum waited anxiously for her next update. By 3:10, she emerged from the tunnel and found someone willing to drive her to the nearest station. Being grateful, she thanked everyone for their help. But this panics the forum. Wait, Hasumi! Don't go with him! That sounds absolutely dangerous. Who else will be out this hour? This is too strange. At 3:21, someone reminded her to ask the driver where they were. The driver responded with Hina, a name that made no sense. Then things get weird very quickly. At 3:27, Hasumi posted, "The car is moving towards the mountain," and the driver stopped talking. At 3:41, the forum urges her to call the police and run away. At 3:44, Hasumi updated, "My battery will die soon. I'll try to run away." But the driver started muttering to himself, "It's weird. Just in case, this will be my last post." Then no one's heard of her again.
That's absolutely terrifying.
You mean being spirited away, but the term doesn't truly capture the Japanese concept of kamikakushi.
Ah, that's where the name come from.
It's like when people disappear into another world or unexplainable location. The time and space can be different to this reality.
Like the Spirited Away animation.
An Alice Wonderland, so there are usually 3 outcomes. After an unknown amount of time, first, the victim returns and tells an unbelievable story. Second, the victim returns but has no memory of what happened, sometimes without aging or overaged. 3. The victim is never seen again.
So what happened to Hasumi remains a mystery.
Well, she was never to be found on the internet. No further update. Until 7 years later, a post pops up in another forum, claiming to be Hasumi. I know it's hard to believe, but for those who care, here's what happened. So, a strong light showed up in the middle of the way, stopping the car which Hasumi was in, and then the driver disappeared. A mysterious man approached and asked her, "Why are you here? You shouldn't be here. I made the driver vanish. Now, run towards the light." The strange thing about this mysterious man was, he seemed panicking. Hasumi was scared and confused. She ran crying. As soon as it got too bright, she had to close her eyes. And when she finally opened her eyes again, she saw her parents come fetching her. But the time was 2011. 7 years in between had vanished.
Yo, 7 years. But I'm relieved it's at least a happy ending. But is it true?
Who knows, but let's think about this. Hasumi is super polite, even in a panic, and no typos in such terrifying experience. Plus, she still uses honorifics in Japanese. Sounds like, "Excuse me, if you don't mind, I'm being haunted by a ghost." Would people normally do that? Why didn't she upload any photo to help people to help her? Some says Ni channel didn't have that function, but here's the link. She could. And why didn't she leave more details in her final post, like her name, phone number, home address, parents' details, etc. Anything verifiable to help others find her.
It sounds incredibly strange.
But after this, there are 2 incidents of this Kisaragi Station reported. Let me know if you want to hear about them. So what do you think about Spirited Away? Let's hear your thoughts below.